Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra with me, Shel Bhatnagar, and this is Market Today. And we will start off another day, the last day of the week now, after 4 days of pain. Let's hope that there are some signs of recovery. Remember, Indian equities have declined for the fourth straight session, and this was after the US Federal Reserve forecast only two reductions in the policy rates in 2025, contrary to the expectations that at least 3 to 4 cuts would have taken place. Now, in the last four sessions alone, what we've seen is that the Sensex has declined by 3.5% and the Nifty by 3.3%. As of yesterday, both the Nifty and the Sensex had dropped by over 1% each as well. Now, what we've also seen is that the foreign investors have been continuously on a selling spree. On Thursday also, the FPIs were net sellers to the tune of 4,225 odd crore rupees as well. And this entire week, the FPIs have already pulled out 12,000 odd crore rupees from the secondary market as well. Well, it's been a tough, volatile market, so to speak, but let's see. The crucial levels have been broken. 24,000 has been tested on the lower side. 23,951 is where we shut shop on the Nifty yesterday. Let's see how it pans out today and what are the signs that we get for the next week as well. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And as the weather in Delhi gets foggier and foggier, we have a yellow alert in Delhi today, extreme fog. The same situation, ladies and gentlemen, is on the Lal Street. There are two sets of investors, one with deep pockets of money, and they are betting that third quarter earnings will be worse than second quarter earnings, and therefore they are on a selling spree. Now, what is also getting worse for the Indian market is the US 10-year yield. I'll request the PCI to kindly fire that chart followed by the dollar index. Sakshi, in the last 5 trading sessions, the US 10-year bond yield has appreciated by 10.8%. One would have imagined that given the rate cut that was in the pipeline, the yield would have tightened down, but no. The US 10-year yield at 4.579 is the highest that we have since the last few months. The last time we saw this number, it was May 2024. Look at the dollar index at 108.5. This is the highest in 2 years. And if these two are at such blistering levels, there is no hope left for Indian equity markets in the short term. They will continue to be under pressure, and the reason is that if a US fund manager has a yield of 4.579% on a basic bond, he is not going to deploy money in emerging markets. In fact, he will take away money. And Sakshi, added to that pain is a record low on the rupee. So on a regular basis, you are seeing FII numbers and FII portfolios getting weaker and weaker, and that's the reason for this sustained selling pressure. Of course, we are at a make and break level as far as the Nifty and the Bank Nifty is concerned, but given the weakness that is expected in third quarter as far as earnings are concerned, I think for the moment we are fighting a losing battle. That is why I have worn a red sweater, a red shirt and this gold band. I am doing everything in my power to attract the bulls back to the Lal Street, but let us see how it works. This week has been very painful. Thank God it is Friday, and therefore let's hope that for the next 2 days there is no pain for us. It's been a terrible week. We've gone through all moving averages. Now only the 200-day moving average on the Nifty is providing some hope, some relief, and therefore this dress that you see, I'm hoping that the bulls will be attracted. But for the moment, stock specific action is what is needed, and two sectors, IT and pharma. Very strong earnings coming in from Accenture, and those are the ones that are likely to provide more strength to the IT sector. Accenture's guidance is superb. They've made very good profit in the quarterly numbers that were announced yesterday, and that's the reason that Wipro and Infosys ADR are up 2.53%. A similar rub-off is likely to be seen on mid-cap and large-cap IT. Ditto Indian pharma. It was the only index, the pharma index yesterday, that was in the green, given the tepid valuations and the fact that a weaker rupee and of course demand from the US for Indian drugs is on the rise. That's why good quality IT, good quality pharma and of course, all run-ups that you see in defense and railway stocks, they have to be caught. So it's going to be a stock specific market, it's going to be event led, and of course please be ready for more volatility on Nifty, Bank Nifty, small cap and mid cap index. Now Sakshi, tell me, how does this gold chain look to you, and what happened in the US markets, and what are our foreign funds doing?
Well, Shell, it is catching everyone's attention. I hope it does catch all the bulls' attention as well, just like how you are intending to do. And let's hope that the bulls come back on street. So it's looking fantastic on air as well. Let's get started with as far as how the US markets also looked as far as the overnight trading session is concerned. Yes, Shell, you wanted to say something.
Sakshi, if you don't want to praise me, it is okay. My own family refuses to talk to me when I wear such stuff, but I understand you are praising me because we are on a public platform. But if you hate me because of wearing this, it is okay with me, but I will do what I like.
Okay, that's the way it should be, Shell. Well, I hope that the bulls also are able to do what they want to actually in the markets as well. The US markets, remember, had another choppy session as the Dow Jones just managed to snap about 10 days of a losing streak. It ended with just saving the blushes 0.1% higher. Now, this was, remember, the longest losing streak for the index since 1974. However, the index did cool off nearly 450 points from the day's high as well, barely managing to close above the flat line. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq posted above 70 and 250 point drop from their respective highs, meant to close below the flat line for these indices as well. The Dow Jones ending rose by about 15.4 points or 0.04% at 42,342. The S&P 500 lost about 5 points or 0.09% in trade. The Nasdaq lost about 19 points or 0.1% in trade, up at 19,372. Now, remember, the US 10-year Treasury yield is something that you've already pointed out. 31 basis points, it's stretched to 4.54%. And the Asian cues are also, very hawkish and tight after this Federal Reserve's pivot as far as the rate cuts are concerned going forward from here. So we've actually seen not just the Asian markets, but even China as well. When we talk about, that's also left 1 year and 5 year LPR unchanged at 3.1% and 3.6%. So that's something that we've picked up. Then inflation has picked up in Japan. November inflation has come in at 2.7% versus 2.3% in October. And Bank of England keeps rates unchanged at 4.75%. So all of those factors are going to be weighing on how the Asian markets also continue to trade in today's trading session. Following this, what we've seen is that the Sensex and the Nifty are anticipated to start lower again amidst mixed global signals. And of course, with the GIFT Nifty trading at a discount of about 0.15% at 24,925. So we'll just see how it really focuses on in trade today. Well, we'll also focus on how the IT stocks are concerned. Remember, Shell, you've marked out Accenture has reported strong Q1 earnings, revenue reaching $17.7 billion, marking it a 9% year-on-year increase in the US dollar terms, 8% in the local currency, leading to the jump of 5% in its shares as well. That has led to the ADRs of Infosys and Wipro up and about. TCS HCL Tech will also be in focus right there today. Bharti Airtel will be in focus. The telecom firm has completed prepayment of all its spectrum dues from 2016, totaling 3,626 crores. So that's something that we will keep an eye out on. This prepayment has helped Airtel eliminate any interest burden of more than 8.65%. In total, Airtel has already paid 28,320 crore rupees of the spectrum liabilities. HCC has raised 600 crores via QIP. So that will be in focus again in today. Mazagon Dock will be in focus. It's commenced production activity for the first of the 14 fast patrol vessels for Indian Coast Guards for the project valued at 1,070 crores. And then we also have Ola Electric. The company has announced it will expand its sales and service network to about 4,000 outlets on December 25. That will be in focus. Exide Batteries and Hyundai both will be in focus. The companies have signed a binding term sheet with Exide Energy Solutions to produce and supply battery cells for Hyundai's electric vehicles. So that will be also in focus. NTPC plans to set up a nuclear power project in Bihar, a move which will increase its non-fossil energy portfolio. That will be in focus as well. So those are the kind of stocks that we're keeping a keen eye out on Shell today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly be joined by one of the finest brains on Dalal Street, Mr. Mayuresh Joshi, Director for Equity Research at William O'Neill India, and a little later, Mr. Kiran Jani, Head for Technical Research at Jainam Broking, will be with us. Let's get Mayuresh into the conversation. And the most important question is, Mayuresh, how do you like my new look?
Sir, morning, Sakshi. I think this is looking brilliant.
I am doing all that I can, Mayuresh. Remember, you shaved your beard, and that's the reason why you have this bull market. Now, I have started a new totka, which is this very thick necklace. Sakshi wants to say a lot of negative words about my necklace, but she's waiting for me to join her in office. But this is it. This is my last totka for bulls to come back on Dalal Street. Mayuresh, I think you need to grow that beard. Santa needs to come back.
I will, but the only problem now, Shell sir, is that if the income tax officials are watching this, you need to be a little bit more careful.
No, this is all paid. You see, lovely women like Sakshi have stopped wearing gold jewelry, and it is now left to me to save all these jewelers that are without work because of lack of ornamental work. And I am going to launch a men's chain of a men's brand of jewelry chains, and this is my first step forward. And I hope whether you like it or not, you will praise it on air, Mayuresh.
I love it, Shell sir. So I think your brand will be very, very successful. I'll be the first buyers.
Yeah.
And in fact, Shell, you can also approach the Kamath
Now tell us.
Talking about men's grooming market set to blow up and grow exponentially. They're already talking about men's jewelry space to be very, very attractive in the next 5-10 years. So you could be their brand ambassador.
Absolutely.
I am going to be their brand ambassador, Sakshi. And believe you me, this is the next trend. I have always caught all these trends very early in life over the last 20-25 years, and I can see it. This unmet demand for men's jewelry and thick chains. My neck is weighed down, but I will bear this burden so that this market grows up. But now, Mayuresh, before people start beating me, can you please tell me what is sentiment on Dalal Street? बहुत मुश्किल हो रही है. अब भाई कुछ करवाओ.
Yes, sir. So I think what is probably transpiring as far as markets are concerned is more or less to do with a combination of how geopolitics is playing out, how inflationary trends are playing out, and how the interest rate cycles will move. And third, how earnings will move. So I think the first aspect is something that the markets have probably largely ignored over the last 2 years. We've seen too many wars taking place, and still the markets have moved on. On the second aspect, in terms of inflationary situations and conditions across the globe, it still seems to be a little bit sticky. And therefore, I think the interest rate cycle might just get delayed or lagged back by a couple of months or a quarter at least. And that the markets will try to take in its stride. The third aspect, Shell sir, is somewhere I think where the predicament might come through. Earnings are slowing down, and therefore I think markets will take cognizance of that. Looking at how Q2 has panned out for India and India Inc., I think Q3 might be soft as well. And that again might restrict some element of upside for the markets. We might get constrained in a range, but I think markets are looking forward to 2 or 3 odd things. One, is the earnings recovery going to come back from the first half of the next financial year, primarily based on the fact that government capex is going to come back very, very strongly in the second half, which is the next 6 months that we're probably talking about. The second aspect in terms of as we head into the new year, the budget is around the corner. So what kind of budgetary announcements can come through for key areas, key sectors, specifically when it comes to defense, infra, manufacturing? All these aspects will be closely monitored and watched out for. Are there any tax benefits in terms of aiding consumption growth, which is probably lagging? And will private capex come back with some incentives laid out? I think that is what the market will probably like to look out for. And third, in the Indian context itself, with expectations of food inflation expected to go lower with a good kharif output which has come through, a good rabi harvest which is actually being conducted this time around. So the expectation is food inflation should largely come down, prompting RBI to also have the initial cut in February. So again, I think a lot of factors to watch out for. So markets might remain consolidated or range bound, but domestic cyclicals, in our opinion, Shelson, might do well in lieu of how we are probably crystal gazing for 2025.
All right. So, good morning, Mayuresh. Do tell us, will we see any safe haven buying in the IT space going forward? At least some of the indications from Accenture are positive. And with the way the results have come in, do you think one should again look at this space amidst all this volatility to safeguard a large chunk of their portfolios?
So I think anybody who's holding quality stocks within the space should continue holding. Again, Accenture numbers better than what the street expected, both in terms of revenue growth, the EPS that it posted, and the guidance that they probably changed. So from 3 to 6, 4 to 7%, along with expectations of consulting and generative AI actually expected to do well, bodes well for a large part of our outsourcing universe, which comprises a large part of our IT companies as well. Obviously, you can very well argue valuations are very, very expensive, but looking at management commentaries, as I've always laid out, specifically for mid-cap IT companies, they look very, very strong and robust. Pricing seems to be in their favor. The margins probably look very, very strong. There's a large part of the cost that they probably incur, including outsourcing, and expectations of what Trump 2.0 might look out for, right, in terms of more elevated expenses, in terms of inward sourcing or inward recruitment as far as the US markets are concerned. I think the players are very well adapt to that and will adapt as well in terms of this entire scenario. So looking forward, I think valuations expensive, yes, but if earnings keep on coming through, as well as the volatility that we might actually face, I think this is one sector that might actually continue doing well. So as a disclaimer, as I've always pointed out, I think Go4's emphasis persistent is something that we continue holding in our global business.
Right. Let's welcome Mr. Kiran Jani, Head of Technical Research at Jainam Broking. Namaste, Kiranji. First, you have to praise my new look on air. Please take a very nice look at how gorgeously I am dressed. And, this is the reason why gold will now reverse the falling trend that you've seen in the past 5-6 sessions. And then please tell us what is going to happen on Nifty. We are, I believe, at a make or break level. Kiranji.
Yes, very good morning, everyone. So, Shanley, looking at your dress code, definitely there are 2-3 observations we can make out. Number one, as you mentioned about the gold, definitely. Number two, you wearing a red sweater. So, definitely people can take out that you are a little bit bearish, but you have also blue tie. So, market will be remaining sideways, either in resistance and support between. And we don't have a clarity. So, that's why only for the diversification, you are suggesting people to buy a gold. So, this is what we can make out an observation from your dress code. Great. So now coming back to the market, as you mentioned that market is also remaining in one range only. Coming to the Nifty, so Nifty is not breaking its right shoulder of the inverted head and shoulder pattern, which is 23,850, 860 level. With that also 23,820 is 200 days DMA also. So there are a lot of support we are identifying on Nifty daily price chart, which is somewhere around 23,800 to 23,850. So any dips towards this range, we would like to go long. Keep a very strict stop loss below 23,800. If prices are holding 23,800 level, then we definitely expect some reversal somewhere around of 24,000, 24,100. One more point I would like to add that if you check the 24,000 put writers, they are holding more than 70 lakhs open interest. So there are chances by this monthly expiry can be surrounding by 24,000 only. So there are very high chances we will see reversal today or maybe on Monday onwards. That market will test 24,000. Coming to the Bank Nifty has a gap created on daily price chart. Yesterday that gap has been filled. So here also we can see multiple support somewhere around 51,200. So if price is holding 51,200, then definitely recovery can be attempted and we can see price target somewhere around 52,200 to 52,500. So risk reward ratio in our favor only. So one can go long, like say for example Nifty we suggested 23,850 around, and for Bank Nifty 51,600 to 500 is the accumulation zone. Keep a strict stop loss in Nifty 23,800, and for the Bank Nifty 51,200, and we can see some recovery till expiry. Now coming to the stock specific, Wipro and IRCTC looks very good and very promising. Wipro, as per the Accenture results, we can expect target price of 340. You can keep a strict stop loss of 300. And IRCTC is the reversal chart pattern. We can see multiple hammer candlesticks pattern form somewhere around 800 level. So one can go long on IRCTC, keep a strict stop loss of 780, and we can expect price target of 840, 850 in upcoming time. So Wipro and IRCTC both are our preferred pick, and on indices also, buy index would be the strategy because of the risk reward ratio.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just take a slight detour into the pre-open trade, a blast. And I wish this were true, but it'll settle down. Brief flashes of brilliance, 200 points in the uptick, but now a sensible 54 points higher. Let's just focus on IT to begin with. 2.5% higher on TCS. 4378 up 108. Infosys 60 rupees higher. It's breached 2006. So this is a space that we will be watching very closely, ladies and gentlemen. The IT stocks will be in top focus today because of the positive earnings that have come in from Accenture. Look at Emphasis, 4.5% higher. Look at Persistent, 1.5% higher. Tech Mahindra, 3.1% higher. Wipro, 0.7% higher, and gains on L&T Technologies, Coforge, L&T Mindtree, and HCL Tech. A very quick look on what HDFC Bank is doing. 43 rupees lower, 1750. These are the pain points that we have to deal with. The Reliance flat at 1230. How about Hindustan Unilever down 15 rupees, 2345. How about ITC down 3 rupees, 463. So it's unlikely that we'll have a positive day in the market. This looks very, very painful. Let's look at the gainers in NSE 500. BASF, they are dividing their business into separate entities. 6.7% higher, 5,827. GE TND, they've won an order, 5% higher, 2216. Let's look at some pharma stocks. They should also show a good entry. Okay, you have a winner in the form of Gland Pharma, Mankind, Zydus, and Sun Pharma. Okay, we'll let the pre-open settle, but two intelligent men upon us. Let's take their views. Coming to you, Mayuresh, first. Your top pick in the pharma sector, and Kiranji, what are the strongest charts in the pharma sector that you can share with our viewers?
So again, I think our take is Sun Pharma should continue doing well. I think there is a lot of talk in terms of what Trump 2.0 might look at for the pharma sector as well. But the specialty pipeline and the subsidiary, which is doing extremely well, and the kind of ANDAs that they probably filed, late stages, so three stages that the application probably goes through. A lot of these specialty R&D stages and have potentially a huge market size going forward. There is expectations of a solid conversion happening as approvals come through over the next few quarters. And therefore, I think top line growth along with expectations of stability in margins and key approvals in other key markets as well should hold out earnings for Sun Pharma. So I think something like Sun Pharma should remain on your radar. And Chelsea, I think from today onwards, I'll be fondly calling you the Bapida of stock markets.
Yes, we can definitely rename him that.
He was a very dear friend of mine.
That will be super interesting. Okay, Kiranji.
Kiranji, the strongest stock in pharma.
Sorry, you were saying something, Shell.
No, I was just throwing the same question to Kiranji. You know, it's very difficult to make Kiran sir laugh. But see, he always has such a somber look. कि technical charts पे ज़्यादा हंसी ठट्टा नहीं करना चाहिए. अब see, he is laughing. So you know, a lot of my initial parameters to wear this very thick gold chain have been met. Now Kiranji will tell us the strongest stocks in the pharma space on the technical charts.
Right. So before going on pharma, Mayuresh just took my comment. I was like waiting for this to say at end that Sales looks like an similar to Bapida. But anyways, sir has taken that comment. Now coming to the pharma sector, Sun Pharma, I agree with him. Definitely, recent time when the corrections started, Sun Pharma has given a lesser correction on price chart. Now at current market price, we can see double bottom pattern breakout, multiple moving average cluster also crossed by Sun Pharma. So it looks very strong at current market price. One can go long at 1800, 1820 zone. You can accumulate. Keep us a very strict stop loss of 1760, 1780. And we can expect price target of 1900, 1950 very soon on Sun Pharma. One more stock which we are liking, it is little bit on like in contra bet or we can say reversal pattern. That is an Orbindo Pharma. Since last 2 days, we are seeing that prices are trading at height of high bottom pattern. It has made a hammer candlesticks pattern and then follow buying is also coming. No matter stock price is trading below its 200 days moving average, but it has created a very good base and multiple bullish patterns are also visible on daily price chart. So at 1250, one can go long on Orbindo Pharma also. Keep a strict stop loss below 1200, and if this reversal works out, then you can see some surprise move on Oro Pharma for the target price of 1400 and 1400 plus also. So Sun Pharma and Oro Pharma both are our preferred pick.
Okay, got that. Let's look at a few stocks then which are buzzing in trade. Exide is up and about 1% higher on the basis of the term agreement that they have done with Hyundai and providing, supplies for the EV vehicles of Hyundai. So that's up and about. Again, all the IT names are definitely strong. Infosys are up 1.5%, TCS up 1%, Wipro also up and about in trade. We also have Bharti Airtel, which has cleared all the spectrum dues, about 1% higher as well. That's also buzzing. Then you have a very strong move coming in on Amara Raja and other stocks within the auto space as well. We also have BASF India, where the board has given the in principle nod for demerger of its agri business, and therefore the stock is up and about 6.7% as well. That's also buzzing in the early trading in the pre-opening space too. We'll keep an eye out on this space. There are some reports that are floating, although not confirmed, that maybe ATF could come under GST, and that could be discussed in the upcoming GST Council meeting. Therefore, you're seeing some aviation stocks also buzzing, but we'll keep an eye out on what the final, comments really come in, because these are just reports and not confirmed, news reports as well. So that's also buzzing in trade. Let me ask Kiranji on the auto space, particularly auto ancillary. How are you really looking at this space, Kiranji? What is looking good? A lot of buzz with Exide and Hyundai also, doing some agreements. As far as Ola is concerned, that's also stepping up its pedal. As far as service stations are concerned, they want to launch 4,000 stations there. The entire auto space coming back into focus. Anything that comes on top of your radar?
Yes, definitely. So in auto, two-wheeler stocks looks very good. No matter that recent past, we have seen a very strong corrections on two-wheeler stocks. So in two-wheeler stocks, Hero MotoCorp is on our radar. Reason being 44, 4500 is being a very good support. We can see multiple bullish divergences on momentum indicator also, and there is a bullish harmonic pattern also. So Hero MotoCorp looks very strong. You can keep accumulate between 44, 4500 zone. Keep a strict stop loss below 4400, and you can expect price target of somewhere around 48, 4900 in recent time. So definitely you can go long on Hero MotoCorp. And you ask about the auto ancillaries also. So tire stocks are very much into the bullish zone. CA tire already moved from 2800 to 33, 3200, and then again it retesting its breakout level. One more tire stocks like Apollo tire, it hasn't given a that sharp move. So at current market price, you can go long on Apollo tire. You can wait for any dips towards 520. Keep a strict stop loss below 500, and you can expect price target of 580, 600 in upcoming time. So Apollo tire looks very promising at current market price. So in auto, two-wheeler stocks like in Hero MotoCorp, and for the ancillary stocks, you can go long on Apollo tire.
Right. Mayuresh, we have to look beyond the volatility and beyond, what might be another 200, 300 points on the Nifty on the downside, and start preparing for the budget. Now, in your own estimate, where in the railway sector have valuations come down to the normal mean, especially in the Sarkari railway companies, RVNL, RITES, IRFC, then you have 2 or 3, IRCON in particular. Where do you find valuation comfort, and Kiranji will tell us where are the charts improving for the better. Mayuresh, to you first.
Sure. No, so I think there is a sufficient amount of expectations that the budget will throw up a significant allocation as far as the entire railway infrastructure is concerned. So I think the entire ecosystem, right from railway wagons to tracks to signaling to metro coaches as well, should probably remain in flavor. And therefore, I think a lot of stocks will probably feel that the orders that are coming their way should be very, very interesting. Having said that, I think RVNL is one stock which, if it corrects further because of the market volatility, long-term investors can definitely have a look at that. I think the combination of all these factors that I was just mentioning and elucidating, I think they should work in favor of RVNL. Obviously, they have been executing well. The working capital cycle probably looks in better control at this juncture. And because of better execution, cash flow improvement has also become very, very evident in terms of balance sheet growth and dynamics. So one stock, if it declines further because of market volatility, I think RBN should definitely be on your watch list.
Okay, got that. Kiranji, since we're discussing all these buzzing spaces, how about the pre-positioning on railways, defense, PSU stocks right ahead of the budget? Where are you keeping your focus? Any key stocks that you believe should be invested in the PSU space now?
So IRCTC, we already suggested. Now, one more stock which we are liking in railway space, that is the IRFC. If you look at the IRFC price chart, the prices has created a very good base at current market price. You can see ascending triangle pattern breakout. It's already given at 140 level. After that, price is retested is 160, 165 level, where the 200 is moving average faced as a resistance. Now again, prices is testing its previous breakout somewhere around 150, 145. So definitely one can look to go long at current market price. Rising trend line support is also there on IRFC. So you can go long in a range of 145 to 150. Keep a strict stop loss below 135, and definitely we can expect price target of 180, 190 in upcoming time, or even at budget time we can expect target of 200 also. So IRFC and IRCTC both are our preferred.
Kiranji, within the wagon makers, Jupiter Wagons, Texrail and Titagarh Wagons, where do you see maximum strength on charts? All three were in top shape in the early part of this week and late last week, but such is the case that we see a bit of profit booking over the last 2 days. Where lies strength in these three?
So we like two stock. One is the Texmaco Rail. If you look at the Texmaco Rail, the price is corrected from 300 level to somewhere around 180 level. Now at 180 level, we can see triple bottom pattern breakout. Stock price is also trading above its all important moving averages. And breakout has been came last week only. Now prices is consolidating at those price near those breakout level only. So at 220, 200 is the accumulation zone. Keep a strict stop loss below 200. And if price is not breaking down 200 below 200, then definitely we can expect price target of 260, 270 in upcoming time. So Texmaco Rail is our preferred pick. Another stock, Titagarh Wagon. Titagarh Wagon, the similar chart pattern from 1800, we have seen corrections of 1100. Now at 1100, you can see ascending triangle pattern breakout is there. 200 price is also trading above its 200 is moving average, and momentum indicator is also showing bullish divergence are there. So Titagarh Wagon somewhere around 1250, 1200 is the accumulation zone. Keep a stick stop loss below 1200, and definitely we can expect price target of 1500 in upcoming time. So Texmaco and Titagarh both are our preferred pick.
Okay, got that. Mayurish, let me come to you on the defense space then. We are already seeing a sharp recovery in some of the shipbuilding stocks like Cochin, Mazagon, GRSE. They've recovered, 25-30% from their lows as well. Mazagon is continuously on the move with its stock split coming up soon on December 27. What is the sense that you're giving to all the investors at this point in time? Do these make for good investments right now? Are they still holding that concern of valuation peaks as well as froth now building up, running ahead of fundamentals? What's your own sense?
Valuations, Sakshi, are definitely on the higher side. But again, I think the allocation that will come through in the budget will be significantly higher as well. And therefore, I think the kind of order books that a lot of these players are sitting on gives them a good 5-6 year visibility, to say the least. And therefore, again, the margins at which these orders are coming, similar to what we've probably seen with railway stocks, I think there have been definite timelines put in place that you have to execute these orders within a definite timeline. And therefore, I think execution along with better margins mean better operating leverage for most part of this universe. The only risk factor that I see is the kind of order books that they're sitting on and the capacities that they're currently operating with. I think they need to expand their capacities to have fulfillment of these orders done in a far more exponential manner over the next few quarters and years. Take an instance HL, right? They need to expand their capacity so that they can fulfill their order book to a large extent. And therefore, as CapEx starts coming through, you might see an initial hit happening on cash flows and free cash flows in particular. But generally, I think this will be a area and a stride they're taking in the right direction so that exponentially revenues can probably expand further as these capacities come on stream over the next few years. Valuation is expensive, but I think this is one space, as I said, within the domestic cyclicals where government capex will continue and where earnings should continue at a stable growth as well. So I think the shipbuilders, including Kochi and Mazgaon, if you're probably holding on to a stock like HAL, you should continue.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the opening quotes are with us. 29-point downtick on the Nifty, but let's focus on the IT stocks. A 650-point bounce back, 1.35% higher on the IT index alone, 45,503, on its way to reclaim its previous record high. Let's look at some of the counters that are now buzzing in trade, and let's start with Infosys and TCS. Infosys 18 rupees higher, 1964. TCS 82 rupees higher, 43.51. We will wait for Kiranji to give his best pick in the IT sector. Meantime, let's just watch the entire IT sector in totality. Emphasis 1.3% higher, 31.58. Let's look at Persistent and Coforge. They are record highs and they are building on their gains. 6,736 for Persistent, Coforge 9,725. Sakshi, in a couple of weeks from now or maybe next week, you will see a digit change in Coforge. It will move from 4 to 5 digits. And ladies and gentlemen, most of you would remember that we've been talking positively about this share from about 4,800 rupee levels when it purchased Signity. Okay. Strength in L&T Mindtree, and of course, strong move in Wipro as well. Let's shift focus to NSE 500 top gainers and then we'll get to Kiranji. Okay, BASF 4.6% higher, 5,178. TCS again, Granules in the green, 2% higher, 612. Birla Soft in the green, 1.7% higher. Anantraj 1% higher, 845. And of course, NAM India, a percent higher at 758. Kiranji, very quickly, what would you like to catch on IT?
TCS looks very good, and we would like to go on large cap IT stocks only as of now. So TCS looks very promising. Reason being, we have seen rounding bottom pattern on daily price chart. Stock price gave a breakout and tested 4,500 level, did not sustain. Now again, it is available at breakout level only. So risk reward ratio is very much favorable. 4,300 is the ongoing price. You can go long or any dips towards 4,300 would be the great buy. Keep a strict stop loss below 4,200, and if prices is not breaking this time 4,200, then we can expect price target of 5,000 for sure. So TCS looks very much promising at current market price.
Okay. Well, among the sectors, only IT and pharma clearly holding up, with IT now up by about percent. And real estate is just toggling between the advances and the declines, but rest of the other sectors have all slipped. Some gains coming in on the mid and the small cap space at this point in time, but largely the breadth is negative. Stocks like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Apollo Hospitals, HCL, Tech Bharti, Tech Mahindra, Dr. Reddy's, Adani Enterprises are holding up on the Nifty, but Axis Bank has slipped over 1%. That's the top loser right now. ITC, that's down by 1.1%. L&T, that's down by 1%. Power Grid, you also have JSW Steel, BPCL, and Grasim that are declining in trades. The advanced decline ratio is 2:1. although this is still on the positive side. 1460 advances to 732 declines as of now, but let's see how this really pans out going forward from here. IT space stocks are continuously in the positive zone, and that's where all the action is. But if I have to ask you, Mayuresh, beyond the IT space that we have discussed and some of the sectors which are garnering strength, like, we've discussed pharma, railways, defense as well. What other pockets really look to be, could be the dark horses of 2025? Any key sectors that you've spotted?
So as I said, I think agrochemicals as a theme should continue doing well, right? And the premise is pretty simple. I think you've seen good monsoons, reservoir levels, rabi output has been good, and therefore I think the good show might continue. Farm gate prices are higher, input costs are lower, so you can't ask for a better combination for this. A lot of companies are going in for backward integration as well, and therefore I think incrementally as volumes grow with better pricing and better control over input costs, so that leverage and bottom line growth should be quite substantial. So I think stocks like Paradeep Phosphates, as an example, stocks like Sumitomo Chemicals, good set of numbers that both these companies have presented in the previous quarter. And the expectation in the next few quarters should be equally good as well. Expanding capacities in terms of backward integration for Paradeep in particular, and even Sumitomo, the margin expansion has been pretty stellar. So I think this is one space that I'd probably look out for. The other, again, in terms of budgetary allocations, 11.1 lakh crores last year in terms of capital account spending, that can significantly go higher this year as well. And therefore, selective names within the entire infra stroke manufacturing space, stroke power, should continue doing well. My own sense is that have a look at the entire sub-segment within power, the flue gas desulfurization segment. There has been a notification which has got pushed through to 26 in terms of having this equipment in place for large part of thermal power plants. The overall market size is a lakh crore. And therefore, I think only 10 to 15,000 odd crores orders have been done. Very, very few players within the listed players which probably do this part of work. And therefore, a lot more tendering can probably happening in this space as well. So Shell's favorite within that, BHEL, is something which produces this. There is one private company by the name of Techno Electric. So I have a watch for that. A little bit expensive right now, but if it declines, it is in the right spaces as well. It's not just into FGD equipment. It is also into smart meters. Therefore, I think and data centers as well. So what we're probably looking at is a good combination in terms of where areas of growth are probably lying. Power as a space generally, Sakshi, I think you've heard and seen Tata Power's 2030 target. So I think even generators like Tata Power should be on your radar, because as part of renewables probably grow, the expectations in terms of better revenues coming through with better margins can be a strong probability in terms of a compounded growth rate over the next few years. Cement as a space, again, is something to watch out for. Our take is incrementally activity should improve. Consolidation, pricing would remain in favor of the larger players. And as we look at markets within India, I think leadership stock, there have been good EPS, RS rating, good institutional holding stocks like Ultratech as an example, JK Cement should continue doing well. And last but not the least, I think selective BFSI should do well. Valuations are in their favor. The expectations in terms of strong earnings growth should continue. Deposit mobilization is back on track and should remain stable. So strong liability franchises should continue doing well. And therefore, larger names like ICICI Bank, mid-cap names like a Federal Bank, Karur Vysya Bank should continue doing well in terms of core operating performance.
Fair point. And Mayuresh, we've missed you a lot as far as the IPO markets and views are concerned.
Yes.
3 top-end listings, MobiKwik, Sai Life, and of course Vishal Megamart. But opinion needed on MobiKwik at about I think 565 today. Yes, at 565, is there value to be had? This is a profit-making payment gateway available at a market capitalization of maybe 5,000 crore rupees. Your view of MobiKwik versus loss-making Paytm?
No, valuations are definitely expensive. So yes, I think they are doing better than its counterparts, as you pointed out. They are also getting in a lot more innovation. So what they've probably achieved in the last 15 years and how they view the landscape over the next 5 to 10 years in terms of fintech as a space, the innovations that are probably required in terms of product usage, in terms of the convenience that users will probably find through. I think they are in the right space, but again, valuations are tad bit expensive, in my opinion. Again, in the case of Paytm as well, I think it's largely now priced to perfection. So unless they keep on posting better numbers every passing quarter, I think the pricing element for both these stocks are absolutely right there in terms of forward numbers as far as the next couple of years are concerned. So in my opinion, I think the best in terms of earnings are actually getting priced in for both these stocks.
Right. Okay. Some more stocks that are buzzing
Okay.
today. I will just name them. Pratap Snacks is actually up by about 12 odd percent. That's sharply higher in trade. You also have stocks like within the broader markets, Liberty Jewels. That's also buzzing in trade about 7% higher. That's the kind of buzz that we are seeing there. Let's get Kiranji. Kiranji, Pratap Snacks for you. Would you really look at it? And then we'll ask Mayuresh that after Bikaji Foods, would you also like to diversify in his portfolio, include some other snack stocks too? Kiran, first to you.
So overall, if you look at the Pratap Snack chart price, the stock price is corrected from 1450 level to we have seen correction till 750, 760. So almost 50% correction has been done. And after that, stock price is creating a very good base. Up from that base also, stock price has given a breakout from 950, gave a runaway rally also towards 1200, and from there again prices retested its 950 level. Today, a runaway gap is there. So we would not like to chase this particular stock at current market price. But yeah, looking at technical setup is very sound. But any dips towards 1050, 1080 would be the buy price. So there is a gap created after today's move. So whenever prices are comes around this gap, as I mentioned, 1050, 1080, at that particular price, definitely one can go long based on the technical chart pattern. Keep a strict stop loss below 1000, and this time definitely we can expect price target about 1200 also. So technically, stocks looks very good. Definitely one can go long.
Okay, Mayuresh, yours.
Let's get. Yeah, Mayuresh, please continue.
No, sorry. So again, I think Pratap is always in the news actually related to some buzz or market rumors related to acquisition of Pratap Snacks by some peer or competitor as well. But I think there is a specific pain point because of palm oil prices and the duties which have gone up quite significantly. You are going to see a good hit that probably happens in terms of margins. Now, a lot of companies are mitigating that. So you've got Bikaji Foods, you've got Pratap Snacks, and you've got Gopal Snacks within the ready-to-snack category. And if you probably look at transcripts, I mean, I was going through transcripts of Gopal and Pratap in particular. What they're probably saying is that there will be a hit in terms of higher inventory that they're holding out on. And with the duty rates that have probably come through, there is every bit of expectation that they might not reduce the price point, but they might reduce the grammage. And therefore, I think how volumes will play out specifically for the next quarter or two, unless these duties are probably reversed, or you probably see some element of softness happening in palm oil prices, which you need to closely track on how the Malaysian and the Indonesian production is probably happening, is something to be probably watched out for. The other element is within the category itself. I think Gopal Snacks has given a very, very positive outlook for the next 3 years. So ending 27, they are probably looking at a run rate which is compounding at a very, very good rate and expecting revenues to actually touch 2,500 crores with their expanded capacities in Nagpur, as well as expanding their margins, which they're posting around 11 odd percent to 15 odd percent. So at some point, they're probably getting far more confident in terms of either their supply chains or assuming that the market, specifically when it comes to input costs, should stabilize largely over the next few quarters. And as the expanded capacities, volume growth starts coming through, and as they're getting into newer categories, I think the market leaders in Gatia, they're getting into wafers. As that expands, along with the SKUs that they've probably got, I think if this really plays out, I think there might be some value that Gopal can probably open. But at this juncture, my own sense is that because of a lot of issues at hand, the stocks within this ready-to-snack category, whether it's Gopal or Pratap or Bikaji, might actually consolidate. There might be some softness that can get exhibited in Q3.
Hmm.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sakshi, what we'll do is we'll take a detour into the broader markets. It's not as bad as in the broader markets as it is on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Even they are not badly off. Nifty is down 42 only. Now, what is interesting is that high beta counters are back, and if Mayuresh calls me the Bappi of stock markets, then I will call him the king of Bhujia. Bhikaji Foods, 3.6% higher, 787. Remember, this is a stock that we've tracked on behalf of Mayuresh from 450 rupees onwards. Mayuresh, a quick one on Bhikaji again.
No, I think it's just very similar comment to what I said, right? It might be soft as far Q3, Q4 is concerned, but both Bikaji, Gopal are expanding their capacity significantly. The snacking market is growing at a good pace. And again, I think the commentaries for both the management over a longer period of time sound optimistic. So I think the palm oil issues that you're currently seeing at some point will reverse. As that happens, I think the cyclicality element probably goes off. But as they strengthen their supply chains, my own sense is that there might be far more predictability in terms of future earnings and future revenues, which the management feel very confident in terms of expansion of revenues and expansion of margins. So there is a huge market out there. These guys are probably gaining market share from the unorganized players. And with a lot of these GST compliances, the two-way bill matching coming through, I think the unorganized market might find it unsustainable over the next few years. So I think it's a good space. Obviously, valuations were very expensive, as I said. But I think both these stocks, if the management says what they're probably saying and they deliver, I think they might very well come back in flavor as we head into the next quarter.
Okay. Well, we will thank you then, Mayuresh, for being with us on this morning edition to share with us all those wonderful insights. And thank you for giving us such wonderful stock ideas throughout 2024. And we hope that you can continue to, expand our viewers' profitable portfolio by many-fold in 2025 as well by sharing such beautiful gems as well yet again. And thank you for giving that name to Shell also, Bapida of stock markets. We will definitely refer to him as that from here on and in the entire year of 2025. I was reading how under Donald Trump's previous term, gold had risen by 45%. We will now see how under Shell's Papida look, gold will perform in 2025. So we are going to be focusing on that clearly. Thank you so
Absolutely. No,
much.
thank you so much, Sakshi. I think it's always a pleasure on a Friday morning. I think Friday is the worst day probably of the week, but it's such a pleasure. I look forward for a Friday morning to be with you guys. Wonderful, and hope that 2025 is full of good health, wealth, peace, and prosperity for not just you, all your viewers.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. किरण जी, अब ये बताइए कि आप किस तरीके के स्टॉक्स को देख रहे हैं अभी, क्या पसंद आ रहा है? पहला 15 मिनट तो हो गए बाजार में, कुछ नया आया अभी रडार पर?
So overall, if you look at the market, broader market जैसे सैलजी ने भी बताया कि broader market इतना खराब नहीं लग रहा है जितना हम कहीं ना कहीं बैंक निफ्टी के इंडाइसेस को देख रहे हैं. अगर आप निफ्टी 500 का चार्ट देखोगे तो निफ्टी 500 का is sustained above is yesterday's high, which is the initial strength we are looking on across the market. सो मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप स्टॉक्स के अंदर आप ध्यान दे सकते हो. तो स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक अगर हम बात करें या तो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक हम बात करें तो फार्मा तो डेफिनेटली आज का एक कहीं ना कहीं एक आउट परफॉर्म रहेगा. लेकिन मेटल्स के अंदर आप ध्यान दे सकते हो क्योंकि मेटल्स कहीं ना कहीं अपने पिछले ब्रेकआउट लेवल या तो पिछले सपोर्ट लेवल के आसपास अवेलेबल है. उसमें आप कहीं ना कहीं हिंदाल्को के ऊपर ध्यान दे सकते हो. हिंदाल्को ने 3 बार 630 640 के आसपास के सपोर्ट बनाए थे. उसी के आसपास हम देख रहे हैं कि हिंदाल्को इज अवेलेबल, तो यू कैन गो लॉन्ग एट करंट मार्केट प्राइस हिंदाल्को. कीप अ स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस बिलो 620 और अगर 620 का लेवल ब्रेक नहीं होता है तो डेफिनेटली आप यहां से एक अच्छी खासी अपमूव देख सकते हो. दूसरे आप एएमसी काउंटर, यहाँ पे भी आई गेस सेल जी या तो आपने डिस्कस किया कि जो एसेट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी है उसमें निपॉन इंडिया लुक्स वेरी प्रॉमिसिंग. लास्ट टाइम हमने देखा था कि 740 735 के आसपास का ब्रेकआउट था, उसके बाद स्टॉक प्राइस 800 के आसपास गए, वहां से जो डिप आया वापस 750 760 के आसपास उसने हैमर कैंडलस्टिक्स पैटर्न बनाई। आज फॉलो बाइंग भी हमें देखने को मिल रहा है। तो निप्पॉन इंडिया looks good at current market price. Keep a strict stop loss below 730 and we can definitely expect price target of 800 again. So मेरे हिसाब से निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी को अगर हम थोड़ा साइड साइड करें तो अक्रॉस द मार्केट काफी अच्छे साइन हमें देखने को मिल रहे हैं। और अगर मैं बैंक निफ्टी के ऊपर थोड़ा टाइम ज्यादा लूंगा आंसर देने के लिए, अगर हम बैंक निफ्टी भी देखें तो बैंक निफ्टी के लोअर टाइम फ्रेम चार्ट यानी कि 5 मिनट 15 मिनट का आप चार्ट देखोगे तो कल के जो लोज थे वो 51,341 थे, और आज के जो लो बैंक निफ्टी ने अभी तक बनाए हैं स्पॉट लेवल पे वो 51,290 296 के आसपास थे। अब इसी टाइम पे मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर में बुलिश डाइवर्जेंस देखने को मिल रहा है। लास्ट 5 मिनट की कैंडल आप देखोगे तो रिवर्सल बुलिश पियर्सिंग कैंडलस्टिक्स पैटर्न है। तो वन कैन गो लॉन्ग एट करंट मार्केट प्राइस बैंक निफ्टी 51,400 के आसपास फ्यूचर चल रहे हैं। कीप अ स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस ऑफ टुडेज लो ओनली, और आप 51,200 का लो को एज अ स्टॉप लॉस रखिए, एंड वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट फर्स्ट टारगेट 51,800 and second target 52,200 today or maybe Monday. So it is a prima facie reversal, but risk reward ratio looks very good. One can go long.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, and Kiranji is absolutely correct. Look at the momentum that we have in the broader markets, even if you tend to ignore what is happening on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So let's look at volume buzzers, and battery makers are back in the auto ancillary space. Excite 2.1% higher. Amara Raja batteries 1.4% higher. Both of them have shown more than 100% volume in the first 20 minutes of trade. So fresh moves are starting. There is no stopping KPIT Technologies and Birla Soft. Remember, these were two stocks that were really high beta. They corrected very, very sharply. And of course, now you have this move which is based on the entire IT space. In the green today is Reliance, up about 0.16% and trading at 1235. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio on the on the Nifty 50. That will give you an idea about how the thread is in terms of sentiment. Broader markets, bulls are ahead of bears. 1278 shares in the green versus 943 in the red. In the Nifty, it's even Stevens, 26 versus 24. So 1:1, but the underlying granularity of the market is really good. Look at high beta, GIC Ray doing pretty well. Look at HUDCO, it's in the green. A sharp move coming in on IRFC. So these are the things that you have to watch to get an idea and gauge what sentiment is on the Lal Street. Sakshi, in terms of top traded, there is Swiggy 4% higher, 607.6. There is KNS Technologies. Excite has made it to the green in terms of top traded, and of course our usual suspects that we see every day. Ola Electric, Zomato, then we have Vakrangi Software. There is a fresh move beginning in the power space. Kiranji, Adani Power, what do you think?
So looking at Adani Power, overall chart pattern was weak, but today, as you mentioned, that definitely a new move is there. On candlesticks front, there is a one candle called Gravestone Doji. Generally, this pattern are very rare. Yesterday, that pattern has been occurred on daily price chart on Adani Power. Today, we are seeing follow-up buying is also coming, and it is all the pattern is formed above the gap has been created on that negative news flow or anything has happened as a corporate. So overall chart pattern looks very good. One can go long at current market price, keep a stick stop loss below 500, and one can expect price target of 580, 600 in upcoming time. So definitely Adani Power looks very good. And I just wanted to update on Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is already given a move of 150 to 200 points after we discussed. So yeah, one can look for that also.
Okay, got that. The Nifty's turned green. There is some kind of buying that's emerging. Reliance Industries is contributing on the positive side, about 12 points on the Nifty on the higher side. TCS is contributing about 8 points. So is NTPC and Bharti Airtel, Infosys, Bajaj Finance, ICICI Bank. these are now just starting to show some strength on the Nifty. Anything within the large caps, Kiranji, that you're looking at? What about Reliance?
So in large cap, we have a two preferred pick. Reliance definitely, because Reliance is also similar pattern what we have discussed about the Bank Nifty. There are very good chances today we can see bullish angle in candlesticks pattern on Reliance. So one can go long at current market price, keep a strict stop loss below 1220, 1230, and you can expect price target of 1350 in by the next month also. So Reliance is our preferred pick. One more on large cap front, our preferred pick is HUL, Hindustan Unilever. We had discussed with this our client also and our associate is holding position. So as a disclaimer point of view, I'm saying as of now, if you look at the Hindustan Unilever price chart, there is a multiple support we are seeing at 2300 level. If 2300 level is not broken, then we can expect some sharp recovery in January month for sure. So at current market price, one can go long, keep a strict stop loss below 2300, and you can expect price target of 25 2600 within the month. So Hindustan Unilever is also our preferred pick.
Got that. So
Okay,
that's it.
Sakshi, I think the much needed relief is coming into FMCG. They've been beaten black and blue. Look at how Nestle is moving. There is a clear move that was on the downside over the last 2 months or so. My God, look at the level of correction that's happened on Nestle. The most recent high that we saw on Nestle was at 2756. Let me just calculate the percentage that we have now. 1 second, and that's a fall of 22% from the high of 2700 to what it is now. Kiranji, is the worst behind us, or do you see more pain on Nestle?
Nestle, if you look at the price chart, as of now, the reversal is, as of now, we have not seen any sign of reversal. But yeah, on momentum indicator, we can see multiple bullish divergence are there. But previously, those divergence was not working out. But if you look at the monthly or weekly chart, definitely we can find one more strongest support. We can see somewhere around 2100, 2150. So that particular zone, one can accumulate. A low risk trade is available on based on the weekly or a monthly chart. You can also see somewhere around 50 weekly moving average is also broken down. So little bit cautious, but looking at the weekly support, one can go long at current market price. Keep a strict stop loss of 2100.
Okay. Got that. So that's as far as FMCG is concerned. Kiranji, Swiggy is into a fresh move above 600, and Zomato will again be in focus. Monday is when it will come and get included on the Sensex as well. Between Swiggy and Zomato, how should one be moving forward? I know that you won't have the charts of Swiggy that much, but how are you really moving forward with the delivery space?
We already discussed about the Zomato. So I would like to comment on Swiggy first. We are following one strategy that is called IPO strategy. So generally, you can also follow this strategy that whenever the prices is crossing its listing week high, then we should go long with the stop loss of weekly low. And if you look at Swiggy price chart, Swiggy IPO week high was somewhere around 490, and it has been crossed in the third week of after the listing. And today the price is somewhere around 600. So yeah, we are long on Swiggy based on this much price pattern. And looking at overall weekly price chart, if prices is not breaking down below 520, 530 level, then one can expect a very good move on Swiggy. Coming to the Zomato, as we discussed, inverted head and shoulder pattern is there. Keep a strict stop loss below 270. Any dips towards 280, 290 would be the great buy. And we can expect price target of 340, 370.
Hmm.
Fair point. I think, Sakshi, that's the most sensible thing to do, which is, uh, you know, valuation sometimes can help you to some extent, but the daily battle of making money and losing money is something that Kiranji described very well. When it breaks above its most recent high and it's a quality company with some kind of great market share, and then one must participate in that rally. And as we know that between Swiggy and Zomato, they have swoon up the online delivery market. It's a duopoly, and we've seen a very sharp run up from the day of listing. So more value creation on the way. I think it's a day of Adani Group stocks. Let me just see what the remaining 8 are doing. There is traction, of course, in Adani Power. Okay, Adani Ports is 8 rupees 20 higher. Adani Enterprises is 32 rupees higher. In fact, all 10 of them are in the green. Now, this is interesting. Adani Green, Adani Power, now they are the top gainers, 3% and 2% respectively. Cement counters, Ambuja and ACC mildly in the green. So Adani Enterprises, Adani Power are the two that are doing pretty well, and they have decent volumes as well. The other space that is buzzing is the OMC space. Look at Indian Oil Corporation. In fact, look at the entire PSU space. This is a strong show that is coming in. National Insurance up 3%. This is NIACL. GIC Ray up 4%. Remember, on December 21st, the GST Council meets to discuss whether the GST rates on insurance policies in non-life, life, and medical space need to be cut. So that's the reason behind the trend. Then you have NTPC and HUDCO, 1.5 and 1.7% up. Dredging and HPCL, Cochin Shipyard, Bama Lorry. So these are the counters that are in the green. We track, I think, 88 PSU companies, and out of 88, 65 are in the green. So it's a sectoral trend. Sakshi, what are you watching?
Well, Michelle, let's also look at a whole host of other spaces which are in the buzz. The stocks in focus are again Amara Raja, which I was mentioning, that's up by about 1% odd. Exide is in focus. The auto industry stocks are also buzzing in trade. Remember, there is recovery on the Nifty from the lower end. You can see now a 0.4% of an uptick coming in, 24,050. So the markets are definitely recovering from the low points of the day as well. And we are also now looking at remember, institution IGI, that listing is going to be taking place today. On the pre-opening trade, on the BSE, it's settled at 504 odd rupees. And this is as against the issue price of 417. So that's also looking at a premium listing as far as IGI is concerned. You could actually expect a 21% premium listing on IGI as well. So that's something in the International Gemological Institute that is in focus again. Remember, the IPO space is something that even Phil was alluding to. Those that got listed this week, MobiQuick, IKS, Vishal Mega Mart, and even Sai Life Sciences. Now you have IGI that will be joining in that band as well. So we'll keep an eye out on the primary market space as well. 10 o'clock is when it will get listed, but right now it's showing a 21% kind of a premium listing that we can definitely keep an eye out on as well. Apart from this, let's ask Kiran ji. Kiran, within the mid and the small caps, anything that continues to really look positive? And now that the 24,000 mark on the Nifty has been achieved again, which is something that you were also alluding to, that the recovery could start today or on Monday. It seems to be starting today again. What would your strategy be now?
So looking at the volatility, you can see market made Bank Nifty made a high of 51,700, and then again it came to dip somewhere around 51,400. So volatility is very much higher. You can go with the large cap stocks only as of now. So definitely NBFC stocks looks very much good at current market price. You can look for the Bajaj Finance at current market price. So Bajaj Finance looks very good. 69.50, 69.70 is the price going on. One can go long, keep a stick stop loss below 6,900, and you can expect price target of 7,200 by this expiry. One more banking stocks which would like to highlight, that is an ICICI Bank. Since last 4 days from 1350 to 1290, price has given a correction. Yesterday it has made a inverted hammer candlestick pattern on its 50 days moving average, and today price is holding that particular low also. So one can go long on ICICI Bank at current market price, keep a stick stop loss below 1270, and you can expect price target of somewhere around 320, 330. One more comment I just would like to highlight, that is our observation. Generally, such kind of volatility happens when market is making top or bottom. So looking at overall chart, we are definitely somewhere around the strongest support at on daily price chart or a weekly price chart, and this volatility indicating us that market is creating a bottom for the intermediate move. So definitely for the next rally, or we can say budget rally, should start from this week or next week.
949. As Sakshi pointed out, that the Nifty is back in the green. Let's look at the components that are buying and helping this trend up. Let me just look at the pullers and draggers. It's Bharti Airtel, NTPC, Titan, TCS, and Bajaj Finance. Sadly, none of the index heavyweights are helping the Nifty on its way up. In fact, HDFC Bank and Axis Bank, both index heavyweights, and ITC are actually pulling the Nifty down. Let's hope, okay, it's back in negative territory. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very volatile and very painful to begin with, but strength in insurance, at least, that's news driven and hope driven. There is a fairly sharp move now coming into, okay, Sakshi, I think we are in pain again. So any rise is being sold into. Sell on rise is the market that we are seeing, and I can't think of a decent stock that I should take the name on air wherever we see 9, 10, 11% gains. Maybe Salzer Electronics. This is something which is a very, very good quality stock and is now at a record high, up 10% today, up 22, 23% on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis it's added 43%. Matlab dhyan hi nahi diya. So that is something that one needs to look at, and in one quarter it's up almost 74%. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Salzer Electronics, something that you track, sir, Kiranji, any view that you can give
On Seltzer? So
Salzer Electronics?
Yes. So on Seltzer Electronics, definitely we were tracking this stock very off lately when the prices were trading somewhere around 600, 700. After that, we have stopped tracking this particular stock because it went into the long consolidation zone. However, the stock price started moving from 2022, where the prices has given a fresh breakout, and now the stock price is surprisingly trading at 1600. Looking at weekly and monthly chart, the momentum indicator is in extreme overbought zone, so we don't want to chase this stock at current market price. But yeah, on daily price chart, we can see clearly breakout level somewhere around 1350, 1400. So any dips towards 1450, 1500 would be the buy. Keep a stick stop loss below 1400, and yeah, you can expect price target of 17, 1800 in upcoming time. So we don't want to chase this stock at current market price, but yeah, on dip we would like to go long.
Okay, and the India VIX is also surging now. 15.2 odd levels can be seen on India VIX as well. So a sharp momentum on that front as well. And that is pulling up the entire volatility factor right there. It's up by 5.4% at this point in time as well. So the volatility is very, very high in trade in markets right now. You have to be very, very cautious as traders in this current market for sure. And the strength is remaining in just very few pockets at this point in time. Kiranji, again, within those pockets of mid and small caps, where would you keep your attention?
In mid and small, we would like to go with the AMC stocks, number one, and
Okay.
number two, one can go for the OMC stocks also. Like say for example,
Okay.
BPCL, HPCL, or maybe IOC. You can see where the price is trading near their previous support. So let's discuss BPCL. BPCL created a bullish angle fin candlesticks pattern yesterday. It has a very good support at 280, 285 level. Stock price is trading at 295 near its 20s moving average. With that on RSI, it has created bullish divergence also. So one can go long on BPCL at current market price, keep a stick stop loss of 280, and we can expect price target of 315, 340 in upcoming time. So definitely this kind of a pocket, you can look into that. And as we discussed, market again started trading at lower level from the level where we expected market to reverse. So the volatility is very high. You can keep this volatility as an opportunity. Any dip in large cap stock, that is also a very good buy. So mid cap and small cap selective pockets or selective sectors are there, but overall large cap stock, you beat Reliance, HUL, or even HDFC Bank. Those are very good stocks to buy at currently.
Hmm.
Fair point. 954, and it looks painful on the indices. Actually, IT started on such a strong front foot, and now the index is also down 271. Nifty
Yeah.
Bank has slipped 324 points. The NSC 500 is also down about 43, 44. इसीलिए you see some activity on the stock specific space only. Government insurers, GIC, Ray, NICL are doing well. There is hope in Dr. Reddy's. Let's get Kiranji's view on Dr. Reddy's. Record high, 2.5% higher, 1359. Kiranji, what are the views on Dr. Reddy's?
So as we discussed about the pharma, definitely Dr. Reddy as a breakout stock. Yesterday we have seen a fire move, and today the follow-up buying is also coming. The falling trend line breakout we have seen, and the stock price was trading below its important moving averages. Yesterday and today's move, prices started trading above its all important moving averages. So definitely the stock price is looking very strong at current market price also. So any dips towards 1320, 1330 would be the great buy. Keep a strict stop loss below 1300, and we can expect price target of 1450, 1460 in upcoming time. So pharma is again acting as a defensive. So definitely one can go long.
Hmm. Okay, got that. So that's as far as Dr. Reddy's is concerned. One of the few pockets that are actually buzzing in trade. But remember, viewers, the Nifty Bank, the Nifty Mid, and the small cap indices have both slipped into the red as well. A lot of sectors have slipped. Nifty Bank is now down 0.6%. You have IT that's down 0.6% as well. FMCG that's down half odd percent. Autos flattish with a negative bias. Financial services down 0.6% as well. Not just that, PSU banks are also lower in trade. So barring, I think, some gains that are coming in on the pharma pack, on the healthcare index as a whole, and oil and gas particularly. Rest of the pockets are all looking weak at this point in time. All of them have slipped. I think consumer durables is something that is also showing some strength. Kiranji, on this, do you have any suggestion? We're looking at Amber Enterprises. Of course, there's been a big block deal that's buzzing in trade. We have Titan, Whirlpool, Havells, Voltas. These are the pockets that are showing us some strength for the last few days and week as well. Any suggestion here in the consumer durables white goods space? Does it interest you?
Yes, definitely. So Havels and Voltas, we already discussed with our clients. So here I would like to give a view on Ember Enterprise. Ember Enterprise has been into the consolidation phase since for, if I'm not wrong, 6 months. After that, we have seen a breakout, and after breakout, again it started consolidating somewhere around from 6,000 level to 6,700. Now the stock price is consolidating. Now at current market price, we can see stock price is also started in heart of high bottom pattern. Stock is trading all above important moving averages. So it's an inherent strength at current market stage where the holistic market is trading even below its 200 days moving average. Here Amber Enterprise is trading above its all important moving averages. So that's the inherent strength we are looking at Amber Enterprise. One can go long at current market price. Keep a strict stop loss below somewhere around 6,000. If 6,000 level is held, then we can expect price target of 67, 6,800 in upcoming time.
$9.58, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start wrapping up the space, and I'd just like to end the show on a very positive note. Despite this pain that we have across the board, let's actually look at new highs. जो हो रहा है बाजार में देखी जाएगी, but a new high, ladies and gentlemen, on GIC Ray. This is a seminal moment that the counter has hit a new high ahead of a major event, which is the potential of a cut in the GST that is applicable on insurance policies which are life, non-life and medical. There is Anant Raj at 3.6% higher, 867. Bombay Stock Exchange and 5750, and of course BLS. This is a visa services company which is in a very sharp uptrend over the last about a month or so. And of course the usual suspects, Coforge, Oracle Financial Services and Persistent. One more counter has hit a record high, Sakshi, and that is because of me, which is Muthoot Finance, gold financing company. Let's take a view from Kiranji on Muthoot Finance. Kiranji, what are the charts telling you?
So if you look at the Muthoot Finance price chart, behind the gold, definitely Muthoot Finance is trading at a higher level. At current market price, it has formed a flag pattern breakout. So if prices is not breaking down below 2050 level, then we can expect price to test somewhere around 22-2300 in upcoming time. So Muthoot Finance look very promising. At current market price, on any dips towards 2050 would be the great buy. Keep a stick stop loss below 2050, and you can expect price target of 2250, 2300 in upcoming time.
Okay, got that. Well, we will thank you then, Kiranji, for being with us on this very special morning edition and to share with us all the thoughts and ideas that you have shared, stock strategies going forward from here. At least the morning session has turned out to be pretty volatile. Let's see how it really goes from here on. The Nifty is trading now at the low point, 23,850 again. Let's see how it goes forward from here. There is a lot of sell-off that is also coming in from the heavyweight counters like HDFC Bank, that's now down 22, that's contributing 22 points on the downside as far as the Sensex and the Nifty is concerned. Axis Bank down now 15 points in terms of the contribution on the Nifty. ITC, L&T, M&M, Reliance, they're all now contributing on the lower side. Dr. Reddy's is holding up with slight gains on the Nifty. Bharti Airtel, Titan, NTPC, Trent, these are the pockets that are still holding up, but a lot of pain across the board. Even the broader markets have slipped in trade as of now, barring some of the stock pockets that are still holding up. We'll wrap it up at that. Many thanks from both Shell and me. But do stay tuned on to Business Today Television as we will continue to get you all the fascinating insights from the world of markets throughout the course of the day. Many thanks for tuning in.
It cannot be closed because I'll tell you why, Naveenji. With every new technology comes huge dividends, which every human being takes advantage of. But along with every technology also comes the possibility of people to use it in nefarious ways and in incorrect or wrong ways. वो गुंजाइश सदैव होती है और वो टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ जो सदैव होती है वो आज भी है। हमने कोशिश की है कि इसे हम लोग जितना भी हो हम लोग इसे रोक पाएँ, लोगों को सावधान कर पाएँ। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वयं अपने मन की बात पे इसका उल्लेख किया है। सोचो, देखो और कदम उठाओ। और उसी तारतम्य में गृह मंत्रालय ने भी अपना साइबर फ्रॉड नेटवर्क की स्थापना की है। 1930 पे आप फ़ोन कर सकते हैं या पोर्टल पे जा सकते हैं और उसके तहत करीब 4000 करोड़ रुपए का फ्रॉड होने से बच चुका है। करीब 10 लाख लोगों की पूंजी हम लोग बचा पाए हैं। टेलीकॉम सेक्टर और टेलीकॉम मंत्रालय भी, जहां एक तरफ हमने अपना ऐप भी स्थापित किया है जिसके आधार